Basically, the study I found was looking at the impact of government assistance programs and trying to figure out whether they were cost effective, or like what is the actual trade-off, because it can cost the government X amount for a program, but does it bring back that money? Is it worth it, basically, was like the investments that they were trying to figure out. And especially because during COVID-19, a lot of programs have had to be canceled or minimized because a lot of governments are under a lot of strain. So this study is recent, and they've been just kind of like looking into that. Like, is it worth canceling these? Do they actually cost money, quote unquote? So specifically, this study was looking at like fiscal prudence and whether or not these social programs lose money. And the truth was, programs that focus on kids and young adults, most or many of them rather, when all factors are considered, turn a profit for taxpayers.
Wow.
Because when you're helping kids, especially, like the lifetime prosperity that they can bring in terms of their health, their tax that they pay, their great jobs that they get that like help bring society up. And they need less government assistance when they're older, was just like something that has never really been calculated before. They looked at one specific example of a Medicaid expansion that happened in some states and not others that was for low-income pregnant women. And basically you would think like, okay, yeah, obviously if you're giving financial assistance to pregnant women, the government is spending money. So that's a loss of money. And overall in the woman's life, when she's like pregnant, the government is putting up upfront cost, but they realized by the time those kids become adults, so these studies have been going on a really long time, those adults end up bringing back the cost because they pay more taxes, they have less health problems, and like a handful of other values that made them realize even if you're just looking at money, they're actually worth it, these programs.
But I just think this is I'm relating it to science. And we're in Canada versus America. Wild to think that like you can't just show up at a hospital and have a child for free. As an American, just hearing from a Canadian, what? That's insane. Second of all, it's like, this is the issue. Science, it costs money, but the long-term benefits of it are what are important. Know what's maybe even going to cost? I mean, there's arguments now. Going to cost money. Climate change is here and it's coming. It maybe is going to cost money, but in many ways, the economics of climate change is only going to create more money in the future. Also, it's going to save your economies in the future. It's all about this like nearsighted versus farsighted. And I think it's just like, now I'm even making the connection between economics and science in that way, because of course things that cost money like this end up leading to more money in the future, but people are so short-sighted.
Yeah, well, I will clarify one thing, and because I want to make a point about it. So not every program necessarily made money. I think they said 16 of the programs that they studied did, and those were all focused on kids and young adults. But this study and the researchers also pointed out, like, we also shouldn't think that every single version of social assistance or impact should have to make money. They were just trying to make the point, like, look, if that's the only value you're using, a lot of these programs actually make money, which would not be people's initial assumption. But on top of that, like, there's lots of programs obviously that are just going to cost, but it helps your society function.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and then you might start be like basing things off of actual health or happiness or these other factors, which it would also help too, which are more important than making money. But sometimes people need to hear the making money piece because, you know,
some people are only motivated by that.
More into economics. Again, you are going to see our tides turn on that.